Hello everyone, my name is Sam Webber here with the Southwest Incident Management Team 2 on the Calf Canyon Hermit's Peak wildfire. We'll get started going into your Friday Facebook weather update. Taking a look at our satellite view of the region here, we'll notice quite a bit of activity once again over the southern and eastern portions of the southern plains. We see this big thunderstorm complex over southern Arkansas and northern Louisiana that's putting down quite a bit of rain, some flash flooding, and some severe thunderstorms. But if we look over our area here in northern New Mexico, we see pretty clear skies across the area. And we'll go forward to our next slide here, and we'll take a look at a little zoomed in map. And I don't know if you can see these red little wind barbs here, but last night we had northerly winds kick in over the fire over northern New Mexico, and we saw a lot of that moisture that we had yesterday pushed south, and you can see this area of clouds down here in southern New Mexico and southeastern Arizona. That's where the moisture's been pushed, so our area today is going to be pretty dry for the most part. We'll have some cumulus clouds build up in the afternoon, but all that moisture is pushed south and west of us, which will become important as we head into the forecast here. So that's just something that we had going on today that's pretty interesting. Yesterday we did see quite a bit of rain over the area and even over the fire. So we'll go to the next slide here with a recap of what happened yesterday with our radar. So here we go. Here's Las Vegas here, and we have the Pecos Valley extending northward from I-25 here in this little kink. And you can see as we head into the afternoon, this is a radar loop from early or late morning yesterday into late evening. What you can see is as we went through the late morning, we had these storms develop around the area, moving west to east and over the fire area. So we did see a few storms move over, saw some lightning, saw some rain, and saw some winds out of those. So if we go to the next slide here, we'll look at our precipitation estimates and observations from yesterday. So here's our burn scar, or our fire area rather, of the Calf Canyon Hermit's Peak fire. This 0.04 is what one of our weather stations actually observed, so that's 0.04 inches of precipitation measured up on Elk Mountain. You'll see most of the precipitation that we saw yesterday fell just west of the fire area. However, it still fell within the Pecos wilderness, upwards of 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch. Even moving up into the northern wilderness area, we did see quite a little bit of rain, but also a little bit of lightning activity as those storms moved over the fire. You'll see up here on the Cook's Peak fire, they were getting hammered yesterday with rain. You see a big red bullseye there. That's upwards of 2 to 2.5 inches of rain. They had some flash flooding issues up there, but as we got further down our way, our storms weren't as strong. We didn't really have any flooding issues, but we still saw a little bit of water over the fire. So we'll move on here and talk about our forecast maps. As I mentioned, today we had those northerly winds kick in and push our moisture further south into the area. So you'll see this green hatched area that we've been talking about for the past few days with increased shower activity is well east of our area, and we've got generally fair weather across the southwest today, and that star is where we are here. That boundary, that backdoor front that we've been talking about, you can see here in the blue, that's pushed further south, again, where all that moisture is today. So that's where more of the activity is going to be today versus up here where we'll be generally clear. Like I said, we'll have a few clouds, maybe 1 or 2 afternoon thunderstorms pop up, but potential for heavy rain is very low. I think that we'll get very little rain, if any, out of these storms. And the big threat today, although it's a really outside chance, is going to be lightning and potentially gusty winds. Now, as we head into Saturday, I mentioned some of that moisture that was pushed off to the south and west of the area. As we head into Saturday, our winds are going to become more west to southwest, which is going to be in a direction favorable for pulling that moisture back into the area. So although we don't see some green hatched over northern New Mexico, we're still thinking that we could see an increased chance for showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon tomorrow. Again, little potential to produce really heavy rainfall because these storms are going to be really high basis, 10,000 feet and above, but we'll have the potential to create some gusty and erratic winds, and potentially some lightning, which could serve as a little bit of a hazard for those firefighters out on the line. And then looking at Sunday, we continue with that west wind, which generally brings dry air into northern New Mexico. Most of that moisture will be pushed out, and we'll start to bring in more of that dry air that's behind all that moisture. And you'll notice this gray hatched area here over northern Arizona, southern Utah, and eastern Nevada. That is an area of critical fire weather where it's expected. So that means high winds, low relative humidities, hot temperatures. I think we could see this area of gray shading pushed a little bit further east over our area, where we start to get more into that hotter, drier, and windy period. So we'll go forward here, and I just want to show you the trends and why I think that this might be possible as we head into Sunday. You can see here right now, or yesterday, our humidities were way up in this top graphic. You can see our trend kind of staying a little bit steady. That Saturday, we see our dew points come up. Dew points are that measure of moisture in the atmosphere. With that moisture to the southwest, our dew points come up, and then as we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we see a sharp downtrend in the available moisture in the atmosphere, as well as if we look at this middle plot here, these are our winds. We can see our winds start to come up. This yellow shading is our wind gusts, and those numbers are going upwards of 30 to 40 miles per hour. So with a storm system that's going to be pushing into the western U.S., we're going to see those winds ramp up, especially over the high terrain. We're going to see that moisture decrease as we head into early next week, and that means our relative humidities during the afternoon are going to be way lower. And you also look over here at the bottom left, our cloud cover is expected to be little to none as we head into early next week. So that's why I'm a little bit concerned as we go into next week with that critical fire weather pattern setting up. So we'll go forward here. And I just want to bring your attention to this. I mentioned how I think Sunday could be a day where we see some critical fire weather conditions. This is a view from northeastern New Mexico, and the shaded yellowish area is a fire weather watch from the folks at the Albuquerque National Weather Service office. So they're thinking, just as much as we are, is that those conditions could be favorable as we head into the day on Sunday for high winds and low relative humidity over northeastern New Mexico. And you can really hardly see it, but there's right where I'm circling here is where our fire area is. So our fire area will be under this fire weather watch as we head into Sunday. And I just want to bring your attention here to this left graphic. These are also fire weather watches across the southwestern United States in Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona. And then the pink is excessive heat warnings. So as those westerly winds continue to set up, we're going to start seeing a lot of this hazard that we're seeing here across the west start to move this way. Like I said, our temperatures are going to come up. Our humidities are going to go down. We're going to start to see some more extreme fire weather conditions. So we'll go on to the next slide here. And I just want to mention this. If I look a little pink right now in my face, that's because I was out in the wilderness, in the Pecos wilderness, setting up another incident remote automated weather system, or we call them IRAWs. That's a photo of the one that we put up yesterday, right up on the Hamilton Mesa area of the Pecos Wilderness. I've highlighted or pointed to where that station is located on this map right here, and I'd just like to note that we've got about 7 of these weather stations around the fire area, or around the Pecos Wilderness in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. 3 of which were already there, 4 of which we've gone out and put up ourselves. And it's zooming in right here to this other outcrop here on the bottom left. We can see our fire perimeter and all of the weather stations that we've put up around the area. Now, from about this station here, just south, northward to the top of this graphic is where the active fire line is. So this is really important that we have all these weather stations around the area so that we know exactly what's going on 24/7 with that fire or with the weather conditions around the fire. It helps us get a good idea of what's going on and where we might be wrong and how to fix it. and how the fire might behave as we head into some more critical burn periods in the afternoon. So what's been being mentioned is this fire area right here in the Trampas burn scar creeping down into this drainage. And so in the next few days, we're going to start to expect this fire to start growing northward into the Pecos wilderness as it creeps up some of the terrain. So that weather station that we just installed there the other day is going to be a very critical part in forecasting for the weather for over the fire area. So we'll just go on to our last slide here, which is our fire weather matrix. As I mentioned today, we have a little outside chance of showers. And then Saturday, we have increased chances of showers as we start to bring our winds around more to the west to southwest direction. However, if we look forward, we go from seeing a couple green blocks here on our matrix, which means good, moderated burning conditions, to more yellow and more red as we set up into that critical fire weather period, which means we're going to have more adverse and extreme conditions for burning. So that'll be something to watch for as we head into the late weekend and early next week. And we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.